Good morning or afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. Here is PLT for the week of April 5th through the 9th of the year 2021. And so as always on our module here, we have our weekly overviews. Our tasks and trainings this week are about updating grades, calling parents, and completing SABRs. This is important. So you will be completing SABRs for each of your advisory students this week. There's the video. Always we keep the review the Infinite Campus form here. I left in for one more week alternatives to uploading documents on Canvas to share with your students. And then we also have our inspiration video. The Monday advisory lesson is in the works, but it will be here soon. And finally, we have the PLT checklist form for collaboration at the end of the week. So let's go ahead and look at our overview for this week. Some announcements. Make sure you're checking on those wellness forms. Those are sent out by Eric Reed and must be submitted to the district office by June 30th of 2021 to receive your discount on your health insurance next year. So please start scheduling your physicals and biometric screenings now. This information was sent out by Eric Reed on March 25th. So look to that email for that. The next faculty meeting will be on April 5th, Monday, April 5th at 3:30 after school. Or you could also go to the meeting on April 6th at 7 a.m. Make sure to look for Mr. Dorf's calendar invite. Also, another reminder that fire drills and severe weather tornado drills will be happening in the near future. So make sure you look at the emergency management guide, as well as here are the location maps for West Campus and the emergency location maps for each floor and the gym at East Campus. Also, there is a plan in being formulated for iPad check-in. It will be coming out soon. So look for more information on that in the faculty meeting. Remember, there are special directions for remote students taking state testing, so make sure you see Trina Dabini's email, and those tests are happening April 6th, 8th, and 15th. Also, Janelle Shoemaker-Walters has sent many emails out about state testing and iPad security. The testing dates are as seen here throughout the month of April, so make sure you look back to her emails and note these dates to help your students out. Also, make sure to continue working on getting those learning assurance forms in as they were required by the state. And finally, the important things we remind you of every week: make sure all your assignments and resources are on Canvas for availability when students are isolating or quarantining. Any alternative plans have to be clearly communicated to the student and the parents or guardians. Also, take attendance at the beginning of each hour and fix any inaccuracies by the end of the hour. And if a student shows up into your classroom and it says QCC, that means quarantine close contact, they should be immediately sent to their grade level administrator and or nurse. For our trainings and tasks this week, make sure you're updating your grades and sync them to Infinite Campus weekly. Call parents and guardians this week again if your students are not coming to class or turning in assignments. And please feel free to reach out to your grade level counselors, administrators, and the MTSS coordinator if you need help. This is especially important for seniors right now as we are looking at graduation. So there's another note on here too, but make sure you contact Eric Ross, Katie Ball, and Ben Jimenez if you have a senior that's not passing right now. Also, this week, as well as for the next 2 weeks, we need to be completing our SABRs for each of your advisory students. If you are new to our building or forgot how and why we do SABRs, there is a YouTube video here. Please, mentors, buddies, and next door neighbors assist new teachers or people new to the building with this task. They are due by April 23rd, and we will be reminding you of that. So just make sure you can do them all this week, or if this week is a bad week and you're doing all your state testing, you could do them next week, but make sure they're done by April 23rd. Students will only be given 2 weeks to do their self-assessment and advisory, and they can do that between April 12th and April 22nd. Here's that link to the behavioral referral video. If you, for any reason, need to send students to the office, if they're skipping, anything like that, that's when you would turn in a behavioral referral form in Infinite Campus. So look to that video if you have any questions. Again, it's a lot easier to upload or to put a link to a document than to upload a document into Canvas. So if you want to learn how to make that a little easier and save some space on Canvas, there's a video about how to do that here. And finally, inspiration. This is the same video from last week. If you hadn't seen it, it's called What Makes a Good Teacher Great. Feel free to watch it if you'd like and share your comments and views in the comments section. For advisory this week, we have grade level checks and study tips. No lockdown drill. We already did that. Sorry. You all get to see me mess up sometimes. So sorry about that. And then Thursday is a compassion lesson, and we're actually going to do 2 compassion lessons consecutively. So we hope you get to spend some time talking to your students about important things and sharing compassionate stories with one another. And then here's that link to our collaboration form for PLT. So make sure you send in your responses there. But we wanted to share more action steps with you for student success for the rest of the semester that teachers sent in this week. So here they are. One person, or Miss Warren said, going to use parent involvement, help sessions after school, and prioritizing homework with students. Miss Gunn said she's going to do weekly check-ins with her caseload, find and encourage others to find joy in the day-to-day, and stay focused on the positive. Miss Campbell said she'd be extending deadlines and making sure those students know I will still take their assignments, meeting one-on-one with students to understand why they're having problems, and focusing grading on learning goals and not busy work. Mr. Brown said he would meet with students about missing work. He's been giving students to-do lists since Canvas doesn't always accurately show what's missing. And after that, contacting parents so they're aware that it's being presented to students. And he's already had success with this in his first week back. So great job, Mr. Brown. Mr. Davis will be offering extended time to make up assignments, arranging to work with students during their study hall or after advisory lessons are over, and just generally being as flexible and as accommodating as possible. And you are right, Mr. Davis, you do a pretty good job of this. Ms. Preuser said she will be focusing on finishing assignments and submitting them, contacting parents for positive reasons, and using the procrastination from the advisory lesson for the freshmen to encourage and support productivity. Next, Mr. Mall said, I will be give opportunities for students to make up or retake quizzes, keep parents notified of their students' grade, and keep students moving forward. Ms. Gruenbacher said she'd be communicating with students, encouraging students and following through, and listening to students. Ms. Robertson said she would be speaking with each student daily, checking on them, offering several after-school work sessions for extra AP exam prep, and providing them with helpful feedback on their work, not just numbers and points. Ms. Davis said she will be sending out Canvas weekly reminders, having conversations with students about missing work, and in-class review of resources and tools available for students for help. Mr. Fabrizis said parent communication, extend deadlines and encourage revisions, and show grace. Thank you, Fab. Ms. Hageman said she would be adding some decompression time to each class, where students are freely encouraged to talk to each other and connect on off-topic subjects. She's also going to make sure each class period has a clear goal and achievable progress checkpoints at the end. And finally, she was going to start working now with procrastinators and any low CD students to ensure that they get enough work turned in to pass. Ms. Hughes will be offering study sessions via Zoom, extend deadlines, and focus on standards instead of points. Mr. George will have individual meetings with students, contact their homes, and extension activities. Ms. Snipes said she is working on getting her advisory students more focused on using their time for completing missing work, respecting each other's times during flex time, and having a real verified reason for going to another teacher's Miss McClendon said she will continue communicating with students, encouraging them, and celebrating their successes. Ms. Krause said she will be allowing for late work to be submitted at full credit, allow retakes for all exit tickets, and ensure all teaching materials are available on Canvas. Mr. Baum has said he'll be working on time management during advisory, individual grade checks for my advisory students to encourage those who need to use flex time to get the help they need. Mr. Fike said he'll be checking attendance and the use of time and grades. And finally, Ms. Barton said, I have deadlines set for the end of the week instead of randomly throughout the week. I've already extended the late work deadline. I've contacted parents and guardians of struggling students. I've gone over assignments in class and provided class time to turn the assignments in. I've reminded students daily of what needs to be accomplished. I have provided extra resources for our Romeo and Juliet unit. I continue to have everything available on Canvas for all students at all times. I have been in regular contact with administration and counselors about student success. I have student check Infinite Campus at least once a week in class, in addition to the checks and advisory. Thank you all so much for submitting and sharing your ideas as to how to help with student success. We've also left last week's submissions on this document as well, as if you'd like to go back and see that. And finally, our question and answer portion. A question was posed, when should we post semester grades? Here are the answers. Seniors' last day of school is April 6th. If any senior in class is at risk of failing, you need to contact Katie Ball, Eric Ross, and Ben Jimenez as soon as possible. All grades, though, are due by May 17th, which is your last contractual day. Some comments from Ms. Campbell. Thank you for including the emergency information on the PLT page. Glad that was helpful, Ms. Campbell. And Ms. Hageman said, I have continued to collaborate with Mrs. Gotti. She is amazing. We worked this week on evaluating AP physics books that we might adopt for next year as ours are outdated. That's great. Glad you're having a good time collaborating together. And then finally, the Tell Me Something Good comments. Kane Davis said, my students did a great job in responding to the Canvas technical issues that we experienced on Thursday. I assumed no one would show up after the first 15 minutes went by without being able to connect, although I was emailing my students the entire time, keeping them in the loop as I could. But I happily was wrong, and they were there. Thanks for sharing that great success, Mr. Davis. Ms. Hageman said, I had a student on Friday who often struggles, but works hard to and stated towards the end of class, paraphrase because I can't remember the exact words, I'm really starting to get this. I feel like I'm learning how to do this today. That's a great success, Ms. Hageman. Thank you for sharing. Ms. Campbell says seniors are getting excited about prom and graduation. That's awesome. And finally, Jenny Carr shared in Katie Trump's celebration as she is an amazing student teacher and just accepted an offer at Sedgwick. So congratulations, Katie Trump. Thank you all for all you do. Thank you for collaborating and working together and sharing. Hope you have a great week. If you have any questions, make sure you email. Have a great day.